Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Ladarius Green, 37 yards. And the Steelers have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. Here we go now as we get set for a big two-point conversion. Roethlisberger looking to throw. And this is caught. And it's a three-point game. So that effort gives him a three-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, and that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And now they're in the hurry-up.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Back to throw. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. Sheds a second man. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They'll look to throw. This one caught. Jordan Cameron. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It'll be their third and final timeout. So as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Offense in a good spot here, 2nd and 2. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together.
Set, blue, 10, 8, 8.
He'll look to throw. And caught by Cameron right side. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
He's back to throw. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick here is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing, and on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. And they'll get it up the middle. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone.
Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back, I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off or if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync.
They come up with 1 running back. That's Bell. And he'll get it up the middle. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Great play there off the end. Question, Charles, in a 4-3, you hear about the D tackles a lot. What's the role of the ends?
What they want to do is control the edges of the defense. And you always hear about an offense talking about setting the edge in the running game. Well, the defense wants to do exactly the same thing. In the defensive end, often against an offensive tackle, sometimes a tight end, they can't let themselves get hooked and let a running back get outside. Because if they do that, that hurts the integrity of the defense overall.
My man, the encyclopedia. Play clock winding down. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Eli Rogers, the intended receiver. And it's 4th down.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Here's Jordan Berry now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. 4th down. Here's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. That'll be a gain of 16. And on 4th and long, somehow they're able to keep the drive going.
Well, let's begin by trying to get into the mind of the head coach. He's telling us he wants to win the game right now. That's why they went for it and got it on 4th down.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And the seemingly endless drive continues. Shift together here from the D-line. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Got a man, it's Brown. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Still in search of the 1st down after that last completion. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Roethlisberger. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here in overtime, and we'll be back. They come up with 1 running back. That's Bell. He's going to get the football. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. That's caught at the 3. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys at the concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way, the fans streaming out unhappy. But the team that came in here and won this one on the road, they sprinted to their locker room.
And speaking of buying things, dinner on you tonight, Davis.
I kind of figured that was coming.
That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.